What's up everyone? So in this video we'll discuss add scheduled annotation. So this is a scheduler. So you can just create your scheduler in Spring Boot and these will execute those tasks, whatever you want to write your business logic in at a particular interval, or you can just specify whatever time you want. So these are the tasks that will keep on repeating it again and again once the task has been over. So there are certain properties that you should note while dealing with these annotation. So before we jump right into the code, let's discuss why would you need to have a Spring scheduler. So let's take a practical example. So this is a website called Grow. It lets you invest in stocks and mutual funds. So there's a feature in this Grow app where you can just download your profit and loss statement. So those statements get emailed to you directly on your email address, and those email will be sent after 12 a.m., that is end of the day. So this is a perfect example where we can introduce schedulers. So you can just create a scheduler that will run at 12 a.m. or whatever time you want, and that will perform some business logic like getting into the database, fetching the data, and then sending users some mail. So this is one such example of scheduler. So let's start with add scheduled annotation. So let's make another package and write a class in that. So in this class we'll create a method. So this is basically a function. So this can be anything. So I've named it as task. This could be anything. So it returns nothing. So it's a void. So you can do anything. So it can return an int also, but it won't matter since this would perform a task. As a good practice, you should not return anything and it should be void. So let's place some of the annotations. So one of the annotation is that it should have add scheduled in that particular method. So this scheduled contains some parameters and we're going to discuss all of them. The first that we're going to discuss is fixed delay. So we have two formats for that. Fixed delay expects some milliseconds. So that could be in the form of long or that could be in the form of string. So it's the same thing. So let's see this first. So let's suppose I write 2 seconds. So what would happen is this task will be executed initially when the Spring Boot application loads for the first time, and then it will be executed again after 2 seconds. And this process will repeat unless and until the Spring Boot application has been terminated. So to basically enable scheduling in Spring Boot, we have to write an annotation called enable scheduling. So this annotation you can write it in your Spring Boot application also if you have more than Spring scheduler. For example, if in this package you have multiple schedulers, you can write that simply into the base class or this demo application class, basically your Spring Boot application. So you can write here. So now you can remove that. But for the sake of this video, we're gonna just write it here. So that's it. We have done enable scheduling. So one last thing is we need to make it as a configuration. So what would happen is, let me tell you first and then we're gonna see it. So once you run this application, so for the first time it will start this task and it will print hello world. And once this task has been completed, just printing hello world, this task will start again after a delay of 2 seconds. That means it will wait for 2 seconds and then it will start again. It will execute this and it will keep on executing this until you switch off your Spring Boot application or you terminate it. So let's check this out. So as you can see, I started my Spring Boot application and for the first time it started and then it waited 2 seconds and then it again executed that task. So one question that could arise here is, what if this task itself takes more than 2 seconds? So basically when you have fixed delay, what would happen is it doesn't matter if this task takes 1 second, 2 seconds or 20 seconds. So the delay between the ending of this particular task and the starting of the next task will be exactly 2 seconds. So it doesn't matter. So let me show you how we can test this out. So I added this statement called thread.sleep. So what would happen is the task would start and then it will sleep for 4 seconds, this thread, and then the task will be completed. So basically this particular task, whole task, it will take 4 seconds. What would happen is after 4 seconds, it will wait again because we have a fixed delay annotation. It will wait for 2 seconds and then this task will be executed again and this cycle will continue. So one thing you should note that whenever we start the Spring Boot application, it won't check for any of these. So it has started the task and then after 4 seconds the task got completed and then it waited for 2 seconds. So this was the period of the time that it waited for 2 seconds. So let's discuss another type of scheduler that we have. So this is very similar to that as well. There is a slight modification to that. This task will be executed after 2 seconds no matter what happens. So it doesn't matter if this task takes 1 second or 2 seconds. This task will be executed again after a fixed delay of or a fixed rate of 2 seconds. So let's say it started at 0 seconds and then it took 4 seconds to complete the task. So now the task has been completed. So now it will check whether he has to wait for 2 seconds or not. Since this task already took more than 2 seconds, it will not wait. So it will basically start at 4th second, and so it will just continue the execution again without waiting for 2 seconds. So let's say our task now takes 1 second to execute instead of 4 seconds. So now it will start and it will take 1 second to execute. Now it will check basically whether I should wait for total 2 seconds or not. But since the scheduler has already waited for 1 second, it will just wait for another 1 second and then it will execute. So let me just undo that. So running it for the first time, task has been started. So as soon as the task got completed after 4 seconds, the task got started. So the task is running. So as soon as it got completed, another task got started. So one thing you should know that is that it's a synchronous processing. So the same thread would be working again and again. So basically it will wait. Either it will wait this amount of seconds if this task takes 0 seconds to execute, or it will be executed as soon as this task got ended. So one way to make this async will be to enable asynchronous. So we can add an annotation called enable async, and we can write an annotation called async on this. So now what would happen is, so for the first time when the Spring Boot application start, this task will be executed. It will take 4 seconds, but since the scheduler is set for a fixed rate of 2 seconds, so after exactly 2 seconds another thread will execute this task. So basically, since we have asynchronous processing enabled right now, it won't wait for the task to end. It will just execute as soon as the scheduler hits that 2 seconds mark. So let's execute that. So the task has been started. So it will wait 2 seconds and another thread will be respawned, and that will start the task. So you can notice whenever the 4 seconds has been completed, the task will be completed. So where to use fixed rate and where to use fixed delay? So fixed delay you should use whenever you think that your task might take sometimes 1 minute or sometimes 2 minutes. Basically, you're not sure how much time that task will take. So at that moment of time, you should use fixed delay. Basically, since you're not aware that your task might take 1 second or maybe a minute to execute, so you want that delay after every task execution. Now, one of the practical examples of fixed rate would be, for example, if you have a website and you want to update that website every single hour. So this task basically will update some content after every single hour. So let's say the scheduler started at 5 p.m. and you have added a fixed rate of 1 hour to that. So that task will start, it will curate some information and whatever business logic you have, and based on that it will take some time and it will insert the data into the database. So basically it will take some time. You don't know how much time it will be. So let's say it takes 2 to 3 minutes or maybe more to do that, and it's a lot of data. So what would happen is, since you started at 5 p.m., you know that if your task get ended by 5, so the next start would definitely start at 6 p.m. So it would be updated after every single hour, no matter what happens. So on the other hand, if you used fixed delay in this, so fixed delay will always be executed after that particular delay. So let's say your task started at 5 p.m. and it will take 5 minutes to execute the task. So at 5:05, your task has been completed. So now it will take another 1 hour. After that, it will be executed. So the next task will be executed at 6:05, which is not what you want. So based on your business logic, you could decide what you want to use, whether a fixed rate or a fixed delay. So let's discuss the fixed delay string and fixed rate string. So these are nothing but the same thing that we discussed earlier. So instead of fixed delay, you can use fixed delay string. So this would accept string as an attribute. So basically you can add the string version of your milliseconds. So this is 10 seconds. This is in the form of string. Same with this fixed rate string. This is the string version of fixed rate, which is a long version. It basically tells the scheduler to wait an initial amount of seconds before you start the scheduler. So you can write it 3 seconds and then you can add a delay of, let's say, 2 seconds. So now here what would happen is this task will not be started as soon as your Spring Boot application loads for the first time. It will actually wait for 3 seconds. So that's what it meant. And then after the task has been executed, it will just work like we discussed earlier. For fixed delay, it will always wait for 2 seconds. So let's run this. So here my Spring Boot application has been loaded. So it waited 3 seconds. After that, it printed hello world, and then it's waiting 2 seconds. So this is another type of attribute that you can add. This is a cron job. So this is basically a cron expression. This expects a string, and based on this cron expression, it will execute this task based on that. So this might not be a tutorial for cron expression, but let me tell you how this works. So to check any cron expression, you can just go to cron expression generator on Google, and you can check this link freeformatter.com. I will add it in the description. So cron expression is basically a string. It contains 6 to 7 entities. First describe that it's a seconds, second is minutes, third one says that it's an hour, and so on till this one. So Spring Boot's cron expression expects 6 entities. So if you write this expression in that cron scheduler, so that task will be executed after every second. And similarly, if you write this one, it will be executed after every minute. So let me give you one of the example. So let's say if you select this one, and let's say you have 3 seconds. So if you write this cron expression, you should ignore the last one, that is for year. So the Spring Boot accepts only 6 entities in your cron expression. So what it means basically is that the scheduler or the task will be executed after every 3 seconds, and that minute should start at 0, which it always does. So let's say the seconds is basically right now 30, and from now you want to execute that task after every 3 seconds, so then you can choose that 30. So this would be the cron expression for that. So I'll just write it here. Let's start this application. So as you can see, currently the timing is not 30 seconds, so our task has not been started. So once it reaches 30 seconds, it will be executed for every 3 seconds until the timer runs out, basically the seconds timer. So it will be running out after 60 seconds, so then it will stop, and it will continue again at whenever this hits 30. As you can see, this is executing after a delay of 3 seconds. So the clock has turned to 00 for the seconds. So now this has been stopped temporarily. So once it hits again 30 for the seconds, it will begin again. So this was one of the example of what you can do with cron expression. If you can't understand this, you can check out these examples. These are very helpful, and I think you can find more than what you need from these examples only. So lastly, for the sake of completion, let's discuss the last attribute, which is zone. So zone basically describe which zone you want to run the timing for. So by default, it will run for that zone where your Java or the Spring Boot application has been running. So currently my Spring Boot application is running on my local machine. So this will follow the timing of my local machine, which is IST, but I can change that. I can write it as UTC. This will follow the time zone of that particular time, and then you can add your own cron expression here. Now if you want to check all the time zones, you can do a get of all the IDs. This will return an array. So these are all the IDs of time zones, so you can select whatever you want. So let's talk about the good practices that you can follow. So let's say you have a Spring scheduler and you have added a fixed delay of 2 seconds. So this 2 seconds, if you want to change it again and again, you can write it in your application.properties so that you won't have to change the code. So let's add a config variable here in application.properties. This is a key value pair of fixed delay. So now let's try to run this application. So as you can see, this task will be executed after 2 seconds. So one other thing you can do is, if you want this Spring scheduler to be created based on some condition, you can add a conditional annotation. If you don't know what conditional annotations are, you can check out my video. I've made a separate video where I've discussed comprehensively what these are. So based on your requirement, you can either create a conditional annotation and write that condition in that particular class. So that could be any business logic. So currently I'll be using conditional on property. So I'll be using 2 fields, having value and the value. So this would be a flag, and if that flag is true, then only I will create this. So if that flag, I'll write it here, This is the value part, and if that is true, then only this bean would be created. So this sampler scheduler, and if that value is something else than true, then this won't be created. So as you can see, it has been created and it's working fine. So let's change the value of this to false. So now our Spring Boot application has been running and we do not see any schedulers, so that means it's working fine. So this has not been created. So if you found this useful, subscribe to this channel and I'll see you next week. Bye.